Something that will kill any demon that falls into it. She still thinks it's stupid and walks away. Suddenly, Tauka hears her screaming. When he looks back, he sees everyone running away from a demon. Yuna ends up tripping, just a usual day, and the demon approaches her mentioning she looks tasty. Tauka is watching it behind a tree and thinks about what can he do to save her, because he needs her for his future cultural plans. And so, he gets the brilliant idea to grill some meat to attack the demon. But the demon hates that type of meat. Mission failed. And so, with Yuna's disgusted look, he gets another idea. To fight the demon and save her with his hoe. But suddenly, a random guy appears and slices the demon in half. Everyone starts gathering around him. Yuna thanks him. And the guy simply says that he remembers saving her 3 years ago too, and asks how she's doing. Tauka clearly hates this hero guy, because he was expecting to wife up his childhood friend. But she's all here happy and smiling at this random guy. Yes, I don't like the hero, this little rat, who literally flirts with any cute girl and tells Yuna that he loves her smile. And she stupidly believes his words. Tauka decides to also put himself on the radar, mentioning he tried to save her. But she doesn't have salvation anymore. She has fallen for the hero's lies. Tauka starts to get angry. It took him 3 years for her to finally warm up to him. But now, he's given the cold shoulder because of this rat with a sword. Suddenly, everyone in the village hears a roar and thinks it's another demon. But it's only the rat's stomach telling that he's hungry. Hopefully he gets a knuckle sandwich. But Yuna invites him to her house to eat her homemade lunch, something Tauka never managed to achieve. The hero gets happy, but his nose senses a delicious smell. It's the meat Tauka tried to attract the demon with. He approaches it, mentioning how he loves meat, and suddenly disappears. Tauka and Yuna get closer to see what happened. Then they find the legendary hero at the bottom of the trap Tauka made, dead. You deserved it, you little rat. Obviously, Tauka and Yuna are shocked. This guy saved the world, just to die in a simple trap. Makes sense. Every villager freaks out, thinking there's no way to save the world from the demons, and decide to capture Tauka and send him to the king, so he can be executed for killing the hero. The villagers start throwing pebbles at him, even with him justifying that he's innocent. It was a simple accident. It's not his fault the hero trespassed his property to steal his meat. But everyone stops when he comes up with the facts. Nobody is going to believe that a simple farmer killed the legendary hero with a simple trap. The villagers realize it's indeed the dumbest legendary hero death in history, and decide to find a way to hide everything from the king. But Tauka has all planned. He will finally get rid of the rat. At night, the villagers bury the hero's body, and if anyone asks about the hero, they will claim that he's missing. The next day, Tauka wakes up feeling refreshed. He finally got rid of the rat, his only competitor for Yuna, only to check himself in the mirror and find out that he looks like the legendary hero. He gets shocked, but dismisses it and checks on Yuna, who immediately greets him as the hero and asks if he resurrected. Tauka finally realizes he's not imagining or dreaming, and he indeed looks like the rat. The good thing is that for the first time, he feels that Yuna is totally into him, and requests some fanservice from her for research purposes. And Yuna is all lovey-dovey, thinking how wonderful he looks, unlike the real Tauka. But there's a problem, he's stinky. Unable to hold it, she pushes him away. He tries to explain it to her, but his eye falls on the floor. She thinks he's a monster, threatening with a broom. And Panic explains that he's Tauka, her friend. She doesn't believe it, and he proves that it's him by revealing embarrassing childhood stuff that she doesn't want to remember anymore. And of course, that comes with the price of a smack on his head. She finally believes him and asks how he became the rat. In short, nobody knows. But he thinks that his soul was transferred to the hero's body, some sort of magic. Out of nowhere, they hear a mysterious laugh coming from his backyard. They run back and see Anri, a necromancer, fighting for her life as she's almost falling into the same hole the rat died. They help her come back up, and reveal she is the one who did it. He asks her to return him back to normal, but she won't do it. She waited all night to finally see the way he would react to see himself like the hero, and reveals that from now on, Tauka will act as the legendary hero and save the world, again, because the guy literally failed 3 years ago. She explains she traveled with the hero, and promised him that if anything happened to him, she would choose someone who could save the world. And she chose Tauka because he killed the legendary hero. Tauka wanted to live a peaceful life in his village, but Anri had his body trapped and threatened to crush him if he didn't help. Tauka, Yuna, and Anri went to the biggest city around. They were looking for supplies when Yuna came across an incredible magic staff, but it was way too expensive, 10 million gold. Tauka didn't have that kind of money, so managed to scam the shop owner and bought it for less. At the hotel, they counted their money, and they found Anri had the least amount. Tauka was surprised, and asked why she had gotten so few, even though she'd received a generous payment from the king 3 years ago. Anri told them that she hadn't received anything from the king, and she'd never even seen his face. It was because she had the power of forbidden magic, something that was illegal. She had been the hero's companion and protected him from the shadows. The girls decide to make some money by accepting quests from the Adventurers Guild, while Tauka decided to roam the streets, where he meets a few girls. Since there have been tons of guys impersonating the hero, the girls confirm his identity first with their bodyguard, whom the hero promised to duel someday. And today is that day. Tauka was scared, and he didn't want to die so soon. But he had the sacred sword, and with that, he dodges the punch and tries to slash the guy's back, only to watch the sword bend. The guy immediately punches his face, making him lose his eye. The guy then accuses him of being a fake, as the hero isn't that weak. Inside the Adventure Guild, Anri found a way to earn gold by fighting and defeating demons. Yuna was super excited about this and was about to go find Tauka when they were interrupted by Kyle, the hero's loyal companion, rat number 2, who starts flirting with Yuna right away. I hope he steps into a trap. Meanwhile, Tauka was tied to a pole with people surrounding him. They were throwing things at him because he was a fake hero and smelled like a corpse. The people wanted to put up a lesson for the other fake heroes that were showing up. Tauka was about to be executed, but Kyle stops it. Kyle asked Tauka to prove his worth by taking the holy sword and imagining it to be huge. The sword grew very large, leaving the people stunned. However, the sword soon turned squishy and bent downwards, making the people start yelling again that Tauka was a fake hero. Yuna came forward with the quest, stating that he would prove himself to be the real hero by defeating 20 demons. Back at the hotel, Tauka was refusing to go on the quest. He was feeling discouraged. He felt like it was impossible for him to do something like this. Tauka blamed Anri for all the bad things that had happened to him. Anri explained that due to Tauka's low mana levels, the holy sword had turned to jelly, and he also needed mana to maintain his zombified body. Anri prepared a special mana test. Tauka had to hold a stone that glowed brighter or dimmer depending on the strength of his mana. When Tauka held the stone, it only gave off a faint glimmer. His mana was level 1, that of a child. Tauka was relieved. This meant he could go back to the village. Kyle volunteered to become the hero instead of Tauka, but Anri refused. She remembered what had happened 3 years ago and wanted to avoid a similar situation. To be a hero, one must kill the hero. Desperate, Kyle picked up the sword and declared he would just have to kill him.